You're preaching to the choir, actually.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, not with money, but I've definitely been with like
no, not with money. Like even for me, I'm not saying that.
Distrusting, emotionally unavailable people that I was like, I'm just gonna lean in hard as fuck, and at some point they're gonna realize I'm gonna be here no matter what.
Yes.
And all that shit's gonna go away, and I'm gonna get the glimpses of them that I see in these vulnerable moments, and it never happens. There's nothing worse than seeing a glimpse of the person that they could be in the relationship you could have.
Triggered.
Or having a month of it.
And it just dissipates.
It's glimmers. It's glimmers, and it's the thing. It's like breadcrumbs, and whether it's on purpose or not, it's the thing that like keeps you like, oh shit, it's there.
It's everything.
It's there.
Yes.
That's the worst. Like one of the worst things as a woman.
Go in.
In terms of like breaking up with men. And this has been my pattern that I've seen with all of my friends. It's my pattern is like the men are dismissive of what we want until we're for real out the door.
Ooh.
And then
say it again. Lean in and say it again. Lean in and say it again.
They're dismissive of what we want until we're out the door. And then they're begging, groveling, doing everything possible to reel us back in.
Give another adjective just for fun. Do it again.
Desperately seeking our approval.
Woo!
Spiraling.
Sorry, I'm having a fun time over here.
And then when they don't win, they sue us. No, I'm just kidding. No, so
blow you up.
No, but it's like the thing that the glimmers that we were catching, now there's like a prolonged time of that. At first I was only getting that like once, I don't know, once a week or something, or every once in a while, or a good night or a good weekend. And now I'm seeing the version of you that I've wanted our entire relationship every time we talk. And it's sickening. And it only happens when you dump them. And then as soon as you take them back, you lose all of the respect you gained for not putting up with that shit, and all of the glimmers go away, and they go back to exactly how they were.
What the fuck?
Look at this. So this I assume
Amin Hussein.
Yeah.
Said what was the first one?
Yeah, can you go back?
This is in reference. No, this is the first one.
Oh,
so this is in reference to when I said they sound like they'd be monsters for like wanting money. Just where like if you don't take me to an expensive dinner, and I believe I apologize if it's not a her, but.
I think women feel a lot of pressure to predict harm that comes from men.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what we just said, really, is that
it is that. And I totally agree.
That's
I agree, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great way to say it. And I think, like, this feeling of, like, oh,
Do it.
People like to do this thing where they go through bad relationships and they want to do patchwork instead of healing. So they go through a bad relationship and they pick a bunch of traits, random or not, and they're like, I don't want these traits again. So maybe you were in an abusive relationship with somebody and they were broke, their mom was mean to them, and they hated their job. Those are the three things you're never going to do again in the next relationship. That does not mean you're going to pick a solid human. Right. It doesn't.
Right.
But women constantly are doing that. We're constantly looking for the random thing that we can find. What's the what's the thing we can screen out so we know you're a quality person? And unfortunately what it is like time, boundaries, and being vulnerable.
And it's your work. You have to do your work on yourself. Like there's no amount of like, this is the person I can date, or this is the traits that I want, or this, like, you can't, like, manage it that much. And I think it's, like, a function of, like, the human brain that we think that we can control so much about who we date, or the things that we, like, can interact, or that we're even attracted to. And you can't control that much. I totally cut you off, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Yeah, it's such a control thing for me. I suffer from that totally. Also, like, thinking, well, I just won't date somebody who does X, Y, Z again. And it has nothing to do with character necessarily.
Can you guys interpret this last comment that they made?
Red flags about things like this to me sound like you're trying not to get played / guaranteed outcomes. That's exactly what we're talking about. I think what they're trying to articulate is like looking for ways that we can guarantee you're with a quality person. And one of the worst things about dating people is that like, you can do all the vetting you want and you can go as slow as you want, but you don't know what that person's going to be like in life events until life events happen. Like, do not marry somebody if you've never had like a crisis while you've been dating them. If you have no idea how they're going to respond. You have no idea how they're going to act when your mom dies. I'm not even kidding.
You have no idea. You think that because somebody loves you and adores you, they're going to just show up in the way that you want them to. And it does not work like that.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't. Like when for instance, the other thing I think about like the marriage piece and all of that, not that either of us are closer looking for that necessarily right now, but I think like when I talk to people about, like talking about guaranteed for outcomes, like, are you willing to be in a marriage where you would be unhappy for a prolonged period of time, like months to years?
To years.
And a lot of people are like, no.
You'd be surprised how much.
Right. And I'm
That's
like,
life.
That's
Yeah.
life.
That's life.
No, it's totally life. And so I think like that's where I say about like wait till your mom dies, not actually, but like people think like it's very easy to show up, not easy, but easier to show up for somebody after a hard day or a hard week or they have a bad weekend. What are they going to be like when you're depressed for 2 months? You can't get out of bed. How are they going to act? You'll be surprised how many men, I don't date women, so I don't know the answer to this, but how many men like at a certain point, their empathy cuts off and they begin to be frustrated that they're not getting attention.
And resentful.
They're
like, you need to pull it together.
Yes.
Because I need my emotional support back.